Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
We go all the way back to February 11th, 1947 crime drama. This episode of Boston-Blackie stars Dick Kollmar, Broadway actor-producer, who was the second and probably best known of the radio Boston-Blackies. And this episode of the program originally broadcast, as I said, February 11th, 1947, and a couple of jailbirds.
Quiet, you guys. You want to send him a telegram that we're coming after him?
Yeah, sorry, Inspector Faraday. The stairs creaked.
Yeah, your brain would be creaking if you had one. Those two mugs we're after are killers.
Yeah, I know that, Inspector. I don't think they hurt us.
I don't think so either. Well, there'd be lead pouring down on us by now. Okay, here's the landing. That's the door. Get to work on it with your passkey. And don't make any noise.
Yeah, all right, Inspector. They're probably asleep anyhow, though. It's 3 a.m., and we know they went upstairs about midnight.
Never mind what they are. Just get that door open. You sure you've got the right key?
Yes. It'll work, Inspector Faraday. I tried it this afternoon while Dawson and Murdoch were out. Yeah, this is the one, all right.
Okay, men. Not a sound now.
Right.
This is it. As soon as the door is open, make a beeline for that bed. Remember, the two men in it will shoot if they get a chance. See that they don't get the chance. Go to Exmouth.
Right. There. The lock turned, Inspector. I'll open the door.
Get a look at those two.
Yeah.
Sleeping as if they didn't have a care in the world.
Okay, boys, go get them.
All right, we got him, Inspector Faraday. Both of them. Handcuffed.
Good. Drag him out of here and down to the jail. Well, Dawson, finally got you, huh?
So what?
This town isn't very healthy for killers, as you're going to find out very soon.
Think you got me, don't you, Faraday?
A disinterested observer might say that, Dawson. You and your pal Murdoch are as good as in the chair right now.
That's what you think, Flatfoot. Remember what I'm telling you. You haven't got a jail in this town, in this country, strong enough to hold Murdoch and me. We'll be out before you know it.
It says here. Come on, you guys, drag him out of this room. You boys did a good night's work. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, be proud of them, Faraday. But don't be so proud of yourself. You won't be when you remember what I'm telling you. There isn't a jail in this town strong enough to hold Murdoch and me.
And now meet Dick Kollmar as Boston-Blackie. Enemy to those who make him an enemy. Friend to those who have no friend.
Listen to this, Blackie.
What, Mary?
You know those two killers Inspector Faraday caught?
Dawson and Murdoch? Sure. What happened to them? And no matter what it is, it isn't enough.
You haven't seen the newspaper.
No, I haven't, as a matter of fact. Something about Dawson and Murdoch?
They got away.
Oh.
It says here they were being held overnight in a detention cell. They had a visitor this morning, and sometime around noon they sawed the bars off their cell and escaped.
Uh-oh. Oh, Faraday will be fit to be tied. Whoever the visitor was probably smuggled in the hacksaw. Too bad they got away. They're both pretty dangerous characters.
Maybe you ought to stay in this evening.
Maybe I ought to go out and see if I can find some trace of them for the good inspector.
Oh, no, you don't. Faraday's a good friend of yours, but you're a good friend of mine. And I'm not letting you go out after a couple of killers. Now, who can that be?
Mary?
I'm sorry. I always say that when the phone rings, don't I?
When the phone rings, I always say, hello?
Hello, Blackie.
Yes?
This is Duke Collins, the radio singer. I need your help. I've been threatened.
Really? By whom and with what?
Well, I don't know the man. He called me a little while ago and said he was going to come up and see me. If I didn't do what he wanted, he'd see to it that I never sang again. I called you, Blackie. I was afraid to call the police.
Where are you, Collins?
Snyder Apartment, Suite 928. If you're coming up here, Blackie, please hurry.
Hey, Collins, what's going on there?
That's just a sample coming.
Hey, what is this?
Hang up that
Hey,
phone.
Collins!
Hang it up, I said.
What?
What is that, Blackie?
Duke Collins, the crooner. Somebody's smacking him all over his
Oh,
apartment.
my gosh, Blackie. Why would anybody want to beat up Collins?
Because he's a crooner, maybe. Well, that's beside the point, Mary. The point is that he wanted help, but he asked for it a little too late.
Okay, Professor. Run it over. I want to hear it.
Must I?
To be vague about the answer, yes, you must. And hurry up. Get over to that piano.
But I'm very tired, young man.
Get over there.
There's no need to push me. I was going over. Here are the words of the song you wanted. Worked out just the way you wanted.
It better be right, Professor. That's all I got to tell you. It better be right.
I followed your instructions. I'm sure I followed them.
Well, let's hear. Go on, play the tune. I'm waiting.
Just a minute.
Play the chorus. I'll follow these words while you're playing.
That's what I'm about to do. It starts right here.
Fate was feeling frisky when she made us to meet. She knocked you off the beam and knocked me right off my feet. She made a careful creature when she fashioned you, and I'll hold you in my arms. She kept a special moon a-waiting just for us tonight. She built some special weather so our romance would be right. She had a special reason, and the reason in the main was to hold you in my arms. Lady, I'm telling you, I know what you're worth. Paradise is plenty nice now that it's right here on earth. So, darling, if you can't wait, why, just count up to 10, and I'll hold you in my arms.
Well, young man, you like it?
I think it stinks.
It was rather difficult to compose. You wanted so many different things in it, and you said it had to sound like a song.
Sure, I said that. It sounds like a song, all right. That's all I can say for it. Do you know what this thing that sounds like a song is going to do?
Of course not. I just followed your instructions.
You've been a good boy. You followed instructions. So maybe I won't clip you too hard.
No, please. Please don't hit me, doll. Please. I'm an old man.
Don't worry, Pop. Maybe you aren't going to be much older.
This place is getting me down, Dawson. It's getting me down.
Yeah, did you like jail better, Ape? Sorry I had those saws smuggled in so you and I could break out. Go on, play solitaire and stop bothering me.
All I'm saying is these four walls is driving me a little out of my mind. There's only some way we could get out for a while.
Every cop in the city is looking for us. Turn on the radio if you want something to do.
I'm sick of the radio. I'm sick of everything in this broken-down room.
You ought to be glad we have it, Ape. There ain't no green door at the end of this hall. Remember that.
I don't know what's at the end of this hall. All I know is I'm getting jittery. When is the message going to come through? That's what I want to know.
It'll come through when Sam and the boys are ready to move us.
They don't even know where we are. They wouldn't let me phone them.
That's right. The cops will be listening to trace the call. They know our boys. Relax, Ape.
Yeah,
The
relax.
kids will get a message to us. That radio is going to give it to us.
Sure. You say so I'm supposed to think it's true.
It's all arranged. That little radio over there is going to tell us when Sam thinks it's okay for us to blow and where we're to meet him so that we can get away nice and clean and safe with nobody knowing a thing about it except us.
Blackie, do me one favor, just one. Tell me what I'm doing here with you.
All right, Faraday, I'll tell you. You're on your way to Duke Collins' apartment. He's a radio singer, and he's in trouble.
You don't know what trouble is. I'm really in trouble. 2 killers, Murdoch and Dawson, broke jail. Do you know that?
Yes, I do. And if you're a good little boy, maybe I'll help you find them. Right now, I asked you to meet me here because of what you told me.
Because of what I told you. What did I tell you?
Not to take police cases into my own hands. Duke Collins got smacked around while he was talking to me on the telephone. I have to go up to see him. And incidentally, this is his floor.
Go ahead. You have to go up and see him.
So I asked you to come with me.
I, like a dope, met you. Someday, Blackie. What's the use? I'll never do it. Is this Collins' apartment?
Yeah. You help me clean up this mystery, and then I'll help you with Murdoch and Dawson.
You'll help me? When did you ever help me?
Let's take 2 or 3 days off sometime, and I'll list the cases for you, Inspector.
Yes?
I'm Boston Blackie. This is Inspector Faraday of the police. Are you Collins?
Well, yes.
Where'd you get the shiner, Collins?
Oh, this eye, I had an accident.
Sure did.
Collins, you called me and said you needed help. What's going on?
Oh, nothing really, Blackie. I thought I was going to have trouble, but it's all okay now. I'm sorry I put you in any bother. Goodbye.
Hey, wait a minute.
Goodbye, Inspector. Nice to have met you.
Now, what was that all about? What did we come up here for?
That Collins seems to be a nice boy. Nice and scared. Maybe I ought to stick around.
Maybe you ought to do anything you want, but without me. I'm going back to headquarters.
Faraday, I'd like to help you track down Dawson and Murdoch, now that apparently I can't help Mr. Collins. If I only had a place to start.
I'll tell you where to start. In this city somewhere. The alarm went out for those 2 5 minutes after they got away. Mm-hmm. Every road, every railroad, every bus terminal, every airport has been watched.
Yeah.
They never left this city.
Well, if I were you, I'd watch their friends. They're going to need something. Money, clothes, a car, maybe. Their friends will be in touch with them.
You don't know Dawson. He's the cleverest crook that ever hit this city. He knows we'll think of that first thing. I guarantee none of his friends know where he is. And even if they did, they'd be under orders to keep away from wherever he's hiding out.
In that case, you've got a tough assignment in this case.
In this case. Listen, in case you're interested, you've got friends in the underworld.
Oh, I wouldn't say that exactly, old pal. I know several characters who talk to me, even though I happen to associate with a police inspector once in a while. Is that what you meant?
Meant? Who knows what I meant? All I know is that I gotta get a lead on those 2 guys. If you hear anything, Blackie, let me know, will you?
Sure, Inspector. Only I've got an idea. It isn't going to be as simple as all that. Those 2 mugs got out of jail pretty easily. Maybe they'll get out of town just as easily.
February 11th, 1947, Dick Kollmar, Boston Blackie on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Here's some great news. If you missed the deadline to sign up for health insurance, or if you just have a plan you're not happy with, you still have a choice. It's called MediShare. There are hundreds of thousands of members, and they love it. MediShare has a 98% customer satisfaction rating, and this is obviously huge. The typical family saves around $6,000 a year switching to MediShare. Find out more. They're great to talk to. 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE.
You've heard us talk about the luxurious Giza Dream sheets from MyPillow. Well, now they're on sale, 60% off as low as $39.99. Lots of other overstock items and a free copy of Mike Lindell's book, What Are the Odds from Crack Addict to CEO, with any purchase, but you've got to use my promo code USA. Go to MyPillow.com, the Radio Listener Square, use my promo code USA, or call 1-800-951-8175. While Chester Morris was best known as Boston Blackie in the movies, he only did a summer replacement series back in, I believe it was 1944, for Amos and Andy as Boston Blackie. The best-known Boston Blackie is the one you're hearing today, Broadway actor-producer Dick Kollmar. This episode of Boston Blackie from February 11th, 1947 on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
And now, back to Boston Blackie. Dawson and Murdoch, 2 criminals, have escaped from detention cells and are holing out in the city. Inspector Faraday is certain that their gang will try to get in touch with them, but so far no attempt has been made. However, Duke Collins, a radio singer, complains that he's been threatened, and while there's no apparent connection between that and the escaped killers, Boston Blackie has an idea the two might be tied up. He and Mary Wesley are in his apartment listening to the radio just before it's time for Collins to sing.
Blackie.
Wait a minute, Mary. I want to hear the end of this program.
Hey, you got me, Copper. You got me. Only I told you you'd never take me alive. And you didn't.
Hey, Mike. Look what fell out of his pocket. 2 pennies. All the dough he had, I bet. Well, it only goes to prove that what they say is true. Crime really doesn't pay.
That was good, wasn't it?
Well, Mary, I certainly wish it was as easy to catch crooks in real life as it is in mystery stories.
Oh, I don't know. You don't do so badly.
Well, maybe not. But it isn't easy. Time for that Duke Collins to sing, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it is. He's wonderful, Blackie. Wait till you hear him.
Baby, your bobby socks are showing.
Oh, shush. It's time for Collins.
Ladies and gentlemen, Duke Collins Sings, the program originally scheduled for this time, will not be heard. In its place, we present a short interlude of piano music.
Turn that off, will you, Mary? Something
okay.
funny's going on around here, and I've got an idea that it's all tied up with those 2 escaped killers, Dawson and Murdoch.
Well, what makes you say that, Blackie? As if you had to have any reason.
Well, Collins called me to say he was threatened. He didn't know why or who it was that threatened him. Then, while I was talking to him, apparently somebody slugged our singing friend. Later, when I went up to see him, he practically told me to mind my own business.
Now, please pardon me for being logical, but what has that to do with 2 escaped killers?
Oh, I don't know. I think that...
Oh, dear, somebody's at the door. I'll get it.
Never mind. I'll go, Mary. I'm near her.
Blackie.
Holy mackerel. What truck hit you?
Let me in, Blackie.
Mary, come over here
Please,
quickly.
let me in.
Pretty badly beaten up guy here.
Blackie, I...
Grab him, Blackie. He's passing out.
Yeah, I've got him. I'll carry him over to this couch.
Yeah, but be careful. He's hurt pretty badly, I
He
think.
is beaten up pretty badly, but I don't think it's serious. Okay, boy. There we are.
Who is he, Blackie? I've never seen him before.
Who is he, Mary? He's the radio singer that didn't go on the air. He's Duke Collins. Now, take it easy, kid. You're with friends. Feel like telling me what happened to you?
Yeah. Yeah, sure, Blackie. I couldn't talk to you when you and Faraday came up to my apartment, but I wish I had.
I see what you mean. Say, Mary, you better get some stuff from the drugstore.
Right.
Now, let's start from the beginning, Collins.
Well, I got a call threatening me unless I sang a certain song on the air, Blackie.
Yeah?
So I called you right away. Then when I was talking to you, some mug came in and he planted one on my eye.
I'll be right back, Blackie.
Okay. Collins, I gathered what was happening over the phone, and later I saw your eye.
Yeah.
Then what?
Well, then this mug said that what he did to my eye was just a sample of what would happen if I told anybody about him. And that's why I didn't talk to you and Faraday.
Well, how come you really got beaten up then? You didn't talk.
No, but tonight this fellow got me just as I was going into the broadcasting building. He gave me a song he wanted me to sing. I have it here. When I refused to sing it, he let me have it.
I see. Well, my girlfriend, Mary Wesley, is a nurse, and she's going down to the drugstore to get some stuff to fix you up. You'll be all right as soon as she gets back. Now, let me take a look at that song. Maybe I can get something out of it that'll make somebody sing a different tune.
I gotta get out, Dawson. I tell you, I gotta get out.
Shut up.
I can't. Cooped up in here, nothing happens. I gotta get out.
You'll get out.
That's what you say. How? Who's gonna get us out?
The boys.
Boys don't even know where we are.
They'll contact us.
How? It's 2 days. I gotta get out of here.
Shut up or I'll clip you.
You'll clip who?
You. You're blowing your top, Ape. Now cut it out or I'll give you...
Who's that?
I don't know. Get your gun and get behind that door.
Right. Whoever it is gonna get a reception, believe me.
Do what I tell you. Get behind that door when I open it. Anything's cockeyed, start shooting.
You bet I will.
Who is it?
It's me, Dawson. Eric.
That's the guy who runs this rooming house. This could be a gag. Do what I told you, Abe.
Okay.
You alone, Eric?
Yeah, sure, I'm alone.
Wait a minute. Well, what is it?
Let me in.
Stop with that. What is it?
Dawson, you and your friend, you must get out of here. You said you would stay only 1 day and 1 night. Already it is 2 days. I get into trouble.
Is that all? Scram or you get into real trouble?
If the police find out.
Well, that's that, Ape.
Yeah. At least there was some excitement. No, I almost killed that guy just now.
What for?
I don't know. Maybe just for something to do. Maybe just to keep in practice.
No, Mary, I give up.
Well, all right, Blackie, only it might be nice if you told me what it is you're giving up.
Trying to find something in this song that mug wanted Duke Collins to sing. I thought it might have a code or something in it. But if it has, I can't find it.
All I know is it's an awful song.
Well, that much I know. I thought it was a message of some kind. Maybe a message to Murdoch and Dawson, for all we know. This would be a clever way of getting in touch with them and telling them getaway plans, if that's what it is.
You mean Murdoch and Dawson arranged with their gang to tune in on Duke Collins' program every night, and then when a certain song was sung, they'd have a way of finding out what message was in it?
That's right. Say the words over again while I play this, will you, Mary?
Oh, sure. Go ahead. Fate was feeling frisky when she made us two meet. She knocked you off the beam and knocked me right off my feet. She made a careful creature when she fashioned you, and I'll hold you in my arms. She kept...
Hold it a second, Mary.
Oh, what's the matter?
Mary, I've got it.
He's got it. Boy, such a song. Dick Kollmar, Boston-Blackie, February 11th, 1947. But something is going on, and we'll figure it out, and we'll figure that out when Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox continues after these words on your favorite station.
Oh, come on, I hate you. You have no right to speak to me. You're stupid, you're evil. You believe in your God, guns, and gold. You shouldn't have the right to vote. We must fix this disgusting country now. We want socialism now.
Whoa there, little fella. Our U.S. Constitution protects your right to say these things, even if they are drivel.
Our founders believed in our inalienable rights granted by God, not some mafia. Our Bill of Rights protects your personal freedoms, your absolute right to speak to others, whether loving and kind or hateful and stupid.
Utopia doesn't exist. It only destroys. Millions of innocents slaughtered by the communists in Cambodia, China, and the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics.
And millions of people were gassed by Hitler's National Socialist Party.
Where do you stand? Help us save the Constitution and restore our American dream. Go to SaveMyFreedom.com. That's SaveMyFreedom.com.
Brought to you by the American Media Council.
Sergeant Preston coming up in a few minutes, but right now the conclusion of Boston-Blackie starring Dick Kollmar from February 11th, 1947.
That song does have a message, and I know what it is now. That song is going on the air tonight.
But Duke Collins is in no shape to sing it.
I know, but I can sing it and make it sound like Collins. I guarantee that. Tonight is song and dance night, Mary. I'll do the song, and it's going to make a couple of killers dance right into Faraday's arms.
Coming up, Blackie. 5 seconds. You nervous?
Anxious, pal, anxious. Do you announce me?
Yeah, that's right. You start to sing on a cue from the control room. All set now?
Take it away. I'm ready.
Okay. We're on the air. Your favorite station now brings you your favorite singer, Duke Collins, in a program of your favorite songs. For his first selection, Duke sings a brand new song never heard on the air before. Duke Collins sings, "And I'll Hold You in My Arms."
Fate was feeling frisky when she made us two meet. She knocked you off the beam and knocked me right off my feet. She made a careful creature when she fashioned you, and I'll hold you.
Nice voice that guy's got, huh, Inspector Faraday?
That's Blackie, you dope. He's singing in Duke Collins' place. You call that good?
Oh, yeah, sure, as good as any of them guys.
I'd rather listen to the motor in this police car.
Yeah. Say, when do we get started after Murdoch and Dawson, Inspector?
We get started when Blackie gets finished.
You getting the doors down, Dawson?
Oh, shut up, Abe, till it's finished, will you?
I'm telling you, I know what you're worth. Paradise is plenty nice now that it's right here on earth. So, darling, if you can't wait, why just count up to 10 and I'll
shut it off.
What about the message, Dawson? What does it say?
It makes us an appointment to meet the boys tonight at 10, Ape. And believe me, we'll be there. Keep in the shadows, Ape. We don't want to get picked up any cop now. We're too close to the payoff.
I'll be careful. Clever idea, that song, Dawson. You're a smart guy. That Collins guy didn't show in the air last night. I got panicky.
Yeah, one night or the next, what's the difference? All we got to do now is make the corner, and there'll be a car parked there.
Hey, there is a car.
Yeah?
I can see it from here.
Yeah, that's our boys, Ape. They did a good job. Another minute, we're our way west.
I can hardly wait, Dawson. I can hardly wait.
You ain't got much patience, Ape. You really ain't. Anybody inside?
Wait a minute. No. Nobody. Boys picked the right spot, all right. Main and Waite Street. 10 o'clock and nobody around. Let's go.
Okay, but don't hurry. Just walk over to the car easy like me. You ready?
Right.
Nice work.
Hey, Ape, it's the cops. Let him have it, Ape.
Okay, that's what I've been waiting for. I'll get them. All right, boys, they want to shoot it out. Open up with that Tommy gun, Mike.
They got him, Faraday. I'm proud of you, boy.
You didn't do bad, Blackie. Thanks for your help.
No trouble. Come on, let's go and see if Murdoch and Dawson are knocked off the keeps. I'll get out of the car first.
Go ahead.
Right. Back up, will you, fellas? I want to take a look. Huh. Dawson's done for, but this other guy...
You mean me? You know, Blackie, Dawson always said I was too impatient. Only I ain't in no hurry to die.
Okay, Blackie, you did it. I know you did it. Now tell me how. What was the code in that song you sang over the radio?
Take it easy, Inspector. You know, I want to know the answer to that, too.
Well, both of you will find out at the same time, and that same time happens to be right now. The code in that song was the last word in every other line of it. The complete message was, meet you tonight, Main and Worth, 10. That meant 10 o'clock.
And you knew that that was a message to Dawson and Murdoch from their boys, and that they would keep the date, huh?
That's right. My boys took care of Dawson and Murdoch's guys before they showed up. When the two killers got there, we took care of them, too.
You certainly did, Faraday. Congratulations. Now, it's a funny thing. Dawson and Murdoch ordered a love song, and it turned out to be a funeral march.
February 11th, 1947, Boston-Blackie on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Are you suffering with arthritis or osteoporosis? Do you have diabetes? Did you know that these are just two of the hundreds of diseases that have seen improvement with Dr. Wallach's incredible longevity products? You can't get them at a health food store. The only way to get them is to call us at 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065. Do you have heart disease, fibromyalgia, or high blood pressure? Do you have a terrible time losing weight? Dr. Wallach can help. He was a veterinarian and cured diseases in animals. He felt that he could do the same for humans, so he became a physician. Over 50 years of research and helping people like you goes into every bottle of Dr. Wallach's amazing discoveries. Do you want to feel better? Learn how to treat the cause of your problem rather than covering up the symptoms with drugs. Call 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065.
A special request from friend of the show Jeff Stein and an episode of the Challenge of the Yukon. This episode, The Substitution, was originally broadcast February 11th, 1946.
The Challenge of the Yukon. On King! On your husband! The Underdog King, swiftest and strongest of Eskimo lead dogs, blazes the trail through storm and snow for Sergeant Preston as he meets the Challenge of the Yukon. Sergeant Preston was typical of the small band of Northwest Mounted Police who preserved law and order in the new Northwest country, where the greed for wealth and power led to frequent violence and bloodshed. But in spite of the odds against them, Sergeant Preston and his wonder dog King met that challenge, and justice ruled triumphant. Sergeant Preston stopped his team in front of the mine where Jim Peters was working.
Okay. Hello, Hey, King. Come here, boy.
Suddenly, he heard an explosion coming from the base of the shaft.
Jim, are you all right? I'm coming, Jim. I'm coming. Where are you? You badly hurt?
Oh, that blast went off too soon. I couldn't get out of the way.
Here, let me help you.
I can't see, man.
Put your arm over my shoulders, Jim. I'll get you back to your cabin. Bring the doctor over from town. Well, Doc, what do you think?
Is it serious, Doc? Am I hurt bad?
I'm afraid it's bad news, Jim. That blast got your eyes. I'm very much afraid you're going to be blind.
Oh, no, Doc.
You think it's permanent, Doctor?
Well, I don't like to say. Sometimes miracles happen, but you'll be blind for a long time.
But I'm all alone. I don't know what I'll do.
No, don't worry, Jim. We'll get someone to take care of you.
I wish I could have told you something more cheerful, but I think it's better if you know the truth. Now, keep that bandage over your eyes, and I'll come back again tomorrow.
All right, Doc.
Well, it's a nice dog you have here. He seems worried about you.
Hello, Shep. He's my nephew's dog.
Well, have you a nephew here, Jim?
Not here. He's working our claim down in Selkirk. We weren't doing very well with it. It ain't a very good one. So I came up here to try my luck.
Say, couldn't you get him to come up and take care of you?
Maybe he could. His claim ain't much better than this one.
I think it'd be a good idea if you'd send for him. Well, but I'll be running along. I'll see you tomorrow.
Well, thanks, Doc.
I'll stay here with him, Doctor. I saw one of his neighbors, and I went after you, and said he'd stay here with him tonight.
Well, that's fine. He must have someone with him.
Bye, Doc.
Goodbye, Sergeant.
I'm certainly sorry about this, Jim.
Well, I guess I'm in a pretty bad spot.
Jake Hubbard said he'd be over to help take care of you.
Jake Hubbard? Well, that's nice of him. I knew Jake down in Selkirk. He came up here just after I did.
Does he know your nephew?
Oh, slightly, I guess. He wasn't in Selkirk very long before I left.
What's your nephew's name?
Bob Daly. I guess the best thing to do is have Bob sell the claim down there and come up and work this one. Shep here will sure be glad to see him.
How'd you happen to bring Shep up here with him?
I needed a sled dog, and we couldn't scrape enough money together to buy one.
Oh, I
intended to send Shep back to Bob any day now, but as long as Bob is coming up here, it won't be necessary.
Come in.
Hello, Sergeant.
Oh, hello, Jake. It's Jake Hubbard, Jim.
Oh, Jim, I hear you had an accident. What? Did you get your eyes?
Yeah, the doc said I'm going to be blind.
Why?
He was blasting in his mine. Charge went off before he thought it would.
I'm sure sorry to hear it.
Do you think you could stay with him for a few weeks?
I'm planning on having my nephew come up here from Selkirk.
Well, I was going to Selkirk in a few days, but my partner will stay with me.
Well, if you were going to Selkirk, maybe you could bring Bob back with you.
That's a good idea.
Sure, I'd be glad to. Now, while I'm gone, my partner will stay here with Jim. Well, you know him, don't you, Sergeant? His name's Butch Tracy.
Oh, I think I've met him.
Well, that's sure nice of you, Jake.
We'll move our stuff over here tomorrow. Our claim's near here, and Butch and I can take care of you. I don't like the idea of moving over to Jim's cabin. Quit grumbling, Butch. You've been doing it all morning. It's too far from our claim.
We ain't getting enough gold out of it as it is. I don't know how we're going to get along if you go to Selkirk and I have to play nursemaid to a blind man. Here we are. What are you talking about? This is Jim's claim. I want to have a look at it. Well, what for? He blasted yesterday and nobody found out what the blast uncovered. Come on. Come in here with me. I suppose you're going to ask me to work his mind, too. Got a match handy? It's kind of dark in here. Yeah, here. Here's where he blasted. Butch, look at this. Wow, that rock. It's yellow. Sure is. Jim made a real strike yesterday. He doesn't know it. There's some people have all the luck. You don't call it lucky to be blind, do you? We're the ones who are lucky. We are. Nobody knows about this but us. Yeah. But when Jim's nephew comes up here, he'll know about it in a hurry. Maybe he won't come up here. You said you were going after him. I met his nephew when I was down in Selkirk. Yeah? Nobody up here knows him except Jim. Jim can't see. What good is that going to do us? I got a nephew of my own just his age. He has a young voice just like Bob's. We can bring him up here and fool Jim for just a couple of weeks. We'll have all the gold we'll need to go back to the States. You mean Jim, your nephew is this Bob? Why not? But you can't get away with it. Jim will know about what he says, about what he talks about. A fool, I thought of that. My nephew lives in Selkirk. He knows Bob Daly. He's been hunting with him. Knows all about him. We can get away with it, I tell you. Might be worth trying. In the meantime, while I'm going down to Selkirk and back, you can be working this claim of Jim's. Get everything out of it you can.
Hello, Jim.
Sergeant Preston, is that you?
Yes. How are you?
Well, I'm getting along fine.
Good.
Oh, it sure is good to see you. I mean, good to hear you again. You've been away a long time.
Well, I had to go north on a patrol, Jim. Has your nephew come yet?
Well, not yet. Just pull up a chair, Sergeant.
Thanks. Did Jake go down to Selkirk after him?
Yep. He left about 2 days after the accident.
Uh-huh. Has Butch been taking good care of you?
Well, yes, as good as I can expect. Well, I've been able to manage for myself pretty well while he's working on his claim.
I saw him on the trail when I came this way. He was going toward his cabin with a heavy sack on his back. He seemed to be in rather a hurry. Didn't stop to talk.
Well, I wonder what he was carrying. I bet that's Jake and Bob now. Quiet, chap.
Hello, Jake.
Hello, Sergeant Preston.
And, I suppose this is Bob.
Yeah, Bob, this is Sergeant Preston. Hello, Sergeant. Bob, is that you? Hello, Uncle Jim. I'm sure glad to see you, Bob. I'll bet Shep is glad, too. Shep? Oh, the dog. Yeah. Hello there, Shep. We got back as soon as possible, Jim. It was quite a trip. I'm sure glad you're here. Come on, Bob. Help me bring in this luggage. Well, I'll see you in a minute, Uncle Jim. Shep, didn't you go with him?
It looks as if Shep would rather stay with you, Jim.
Well, that's funny. I guess he doesn't realize it's Bob.
Jim, didn't you tell me Bob raised Shep?
Sure. He got in when he was a pup.
Ah.
But he ain't seen him for about 4 months.
Well, I said I better get out of here and make room for everybody. I'll be back to see you in the morning, Jim.
I'm tired. This is heavy work.
It'll be worth it. 2 weeks of this with you and Jake and me working, we'll have all the gold out of here in no time.
I didn't like the way that Monty looked at me yesterday. When that fool dog Shep growled at me. I think he suspects something.
Even if he does, you can't prove anything for a while. By then we'll be out of here.
I saw him heading for Jim's cabin a few minutes ago. What if he has old Jim describe his nephew?
What if he does? With the same height and weight, he has sandy hair and blue eyes. The description will fit, won't it?
Well, I don't like it. I'm scared.
Yeah, you wait here. Just to satisfy you, I'll sneak up behind Jim's cabin and listen to what they're saying. Now, you get this gold ready and meet me at our cabin with Jake.
King, you can't come inside with me. I don't think old Shep would like it. You wait here.
Who is it?
It's Preston, Jim. How are you today?
Oh, he's about to see him, I guess. Pull up a chair, Sergeant. It's nice of you to drop in.
Jim, I didn't want to worry you yesterday, but I'm wondering if the boy who came here with Butch is really your nephew.
Why, sure. At least I think so.
Is your nephew about 20, with sandy hair and blue eyes?
Yep, that's him, all right.
Well, guess I was wrong. When I stopped in your mine today, he and Butch had certainly done a lot of digging.
What's wrong, Shep?
He's looking towards the back of your cabin. Guess he hears King out there, Jim. Shep's the reason I was suspicious of your nephew. I'd swear Shep didn't know him.
One sure way of telling this, Bob, is the scar on his eyebrow. It cuts right across it, about an inch long.
A scar? Well, I didn't notice a scar. I'm sure there wasn't.
What's that?
He shot somebody. King! My fella, what is it? Butch, get up.
Get him off me. You attacked me for no reason at all.
What are you doing behind this cabin? That's what worried Shep. Were you trying to hear what we were saying?
I was just coming to the cabin, I tell you.
King wouldn't have jumped you if you hadn't pulled a gun.
I must have dropped it.
You didn't drop it. You heard Jim tell me about the scar on Bob's eye. And you knew I'd know at once that the man you brought here isn't Jim's nephew at all.
He is Jim's nephew.
Come on, Butch. We're going to your cabin and bring Jake, a so-called nephew, back here. Watch him, King.
What's wrong, Shep?
Get in there, all of you.
Right, go ahead, Jake.
Who is it?
It's Butch and Jake. And the boy who's pretending to be your nephew, Jim. They're under arrest.
But why?
The blast of dynamite that blinded you uncovered a rich vein of gold. They had a clever scheme to steal it away from you, Jim. But Shep spoiled it. He knew that Pete here wasn't his master, even if you didn't.
I forgot about that dog. You and your fancy idea. Why I ought to...
Come on, Butch. Watch him, King.
But Bob, where is Bob?
We'll get your real nephew to come up to your mine, Jim. You're going to be a rich man. You see, I found a lot of your gold in Jake's cabin. Come on, boys. We're going to town. Watch them, King.
February 11th, 1946, The Challenge of the Yukon on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Thank you so much for making us a part of your day. Would you do me a favor? Visit my webpage, classicradio.stream. There you can learn more about classic radio collecting. You can find all the places where you can download our podcasts. You can also listen on demand. You can find our social media links, and you can also contact me directly there. classicradio.stream. A reminder that all of our shows are available by a podcast. As I told you, search Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. And please, as always, thank this radio station and support their advertisers. And as by all means, tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on your dial. Classic Radio Theater on your favorite radio station.